percentage of Cable Bahamas do you think is really owned by Bahamians?
Want me to take a guess?
Yes.
I would say about 45%.
I'll say 80%.
80%. Okay.
30%.
30%.
Yeah.
I think Cable Bahamas is Bahamian owned.
Really?
Yeah.
What if I told you it was actually entirely owned by Bahamians?
That would be a surprise to me.
Tell me exactly, what is the percentage?
100.
Okay.
It started off with a foreign ownership interest.
Yeah.
In and around about 2010, Cable Bahamas actually bought back all of those shares that were held by the foreign party. But today, it is 100% Bahamian owned.
100%.
100%.
Well, now you know.
Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into NB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, police shoot and kill 2 suspected armed robbers. Trade unionists call out government for its handling of the Baha Mar crisis. A minimum wage hike now in effect. The F&M leaders skeptical of the Junkanoo Carnival figures. Plus, we count down the top quotes in news this week. I'm Paige McCartney. We've got those stories and more straight ahead on NB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to NB12. 2 armed robbery suspects are dead and another is in critical condition in hospital tonight following a high-speed chase and shootout. Assistant Commissioner of Police Stephen Dean said it all started shortly after 5 a.m. when 2 gunmen and a man with a knife held up the driver of a white Honda Fit on East Street near Robinson Road.
Shortly after 5 a.m. this morning, an armed robbery occurred on Robinson Road and East Street, where a vehicle was taken. Three men held up a man and robbed him of his vehicle. Police were passing in the area shortly thereafter and were stopped by the victim. As a result, the police spotted the stolen vehicle a short distance away. A chase ensued that ended on Robinson Road and at Balfour and Claridge Road, where the suspects crashed into a utility pole.
The vehicle was spotted on Robinson Road and a high-speed chase ensued, ending on Balfour Avenue and Claridge Road. Dean said it was at that point that the suspects exited the stolen vehicle and started shooting at the officers.
The suspects alighted their vehicle and engaged with a gunfire with the police. Police returned fire, resulting in 2 of the suspects being fatally shot. Another one of the suspects was shot and taken to hospital. Police are actively investigating this matter. We're in the preliminary stages of this matter. We are asking anyone who might have even been in the area to come forward with any additional information.
2 of the suspects were pronounced dead on the scene, and the 3rd suspect was taken to hospital where he's said to be in critical condition. Police recovered the stolen vehicle along with 2 handguns and a knife. Authorities revealed that one of the suspects is being electronically monitored after being charged with a serious offense. The 3 men are believed to be responsible for several armed robberies reported to police in recent weeks. This investigation is being led by Coroner Janine Weish Gomez. This deadly incident follows another police-involved shooting death on Friday, during which a police officer shot and killed a man in Gamble Heights after an alleged violent struggle with him. Well, leaders of the country's 2 largest trade unions are calling the Christie administration out for its handling of the Baha Mar crisis. Jasmine Brown has more.
We should not have one employer employing 8,000 Bahamians. That holds the country's government feet to the fire.
And that's how Pinder says he sees it, as he insisted investors who own major projects that employ thousands of Bahamians can hold the government hostage. Pinder says employers like Baha Mar can no doubt wield power as there is strength in numbers.
If a guy say, I want you to jump, the government has to almost say, how high? Because those 8,000 people have 3-4 kids. You're talking about, when you multiply 8 by that, you're talking 24,000, 25,000 people impacted by one employer. To me, that's too much.
He went on to criticize the government for its handling of Bahamar, insisting it started off wrong when government gave the developer major concessions.
Not to say, well, okay, when I give this concession, the government now should own 25, 30% of your business. That don't happen. They just give it away. Give it away.
The three major players in the Bahamar saga are all currently locked in a court battle before Supreme Court Justice Ian Winder. The government is seeking the appointment of provisional liquidators to manage Bahamar's affairs, but Bahamar has called the move rash. Last week, Fox Hill MP Fred Mitchell broke into the popular Bob Marley hit Redemption song in the House of Assembly as he defended himself against criticism from the opposition over his warning to Bahamar CEO Sarkis Ismailian. He again performed the song on Tuesday during the Fox Hill celebrations. His performances did not sit well with Pinder.
Where's these guys' heads? Where are their heads? Again, they think they're smart. You know, they can sing Redemption. But what are they doing to build the country? What are they doing to build? They ain't doing nothing to build the country. They're not doing nothing to bring economic freedom to Bahamians. And for Fox Hillians in particular, nothing is being done to bring Fox Hillians to economic freedom. Redemption? They got to be joking. They joking.
Meantime, Martin says she always had her doubts about Bahamar.
For the sake of the workers, I think I might be in a better position today to say I told you so.
She says given the drama now surrounding Bahamar, the losers in the situation are not just the more than 2,000 workers currently employed at Bahamar.
I think the real victims are all of us in this country, because that was projected to be a major savior. Maybe we should never have used that word.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Jasmine Brown.
Well, PLP Chairman Bradley Roberts urging stalwart councilors to begin their voter registration drives, stating that for all intents and purposes, we're in election season. Roberts was addressing an installation meeting on Harbor Island Saturday, where he reminded stalwart councilors that the parliamentary commissioner has announced that the current voters register expires in November this year, and it's never too early to begin organizing themselves. Roberts said to take nothing for granted and encouraged party supporters to go door to door with their candidates, using their time and talents to strengthen the political machinery. Well, the highly anticipated increase in the national minimum wage took effect this weekend, raising the salaries of thousands of Bahamian workers. Minister of Labor and National Insurance Shane Gibson says he signed the order that enabled the increase on Tuesday.
Since announcing that and visiting various establishments, employees seem to be happy with it. I had some employees who were hired for years and have not received an increase. Employees continue to pay their minimum wage, and so you had many persons who were below the $210 per week.
Government increased the national minimum wage from $150 a week to $210, representing a 40% increase. There have been repeat calls for an increase in the minimum wage. Trade Union Congress President Obie Ferguson and Bahamas Public Service Union President John Pinder recommended that government increase the national minimum wage to $300 or $350 a week. However, the National Tripartite Council recommended a 40% increase following consultation with members of the business community. Gibson called it a compromise.
We understand it'll slightly impact the bottom line for some employers. I mean, if you have 40, 50, 100 persons employed and paying them all below the $210, then of course that's additional funding you have to come up with to take care of these obligations. But we thought it was important to try at least bring the minimum wage up to reflect the increase in the cost of living and the increase in the retail price index from the time it was introduced to now.
The labor minister says officials are willing to consider another minimum wage hike as the cost of living increases.
Hopefully, like I said, we won't allow the minimum wage to remain this way for any extended period of time, where the Tripartite Council has agreed to monitor it on a more frequent basis so that it will always reflect the increases in the retail price index, and also to make sure the value of the dollar as it is now remains the same to the employee, that is.
Stay with us. When NB12 returns, the opposition leader says the Junkanoo Carnival financial report needs further analysis. And a little later, we count down the top clips in news this week. Those stories and more right after this break.
Blessed is the coming reign of Father David, the Messiah, that cometh in the name of Yahweh or Elohim. for shocking revelations and biblical truths on the coming reign of Father David, the Messiah. Call the Assembly of El Shaddai at 451-5056. You can visit them on the web at www.theassemblyofelshaddai.com. Learn more about the shocking revelation of biblical truth at the Assembly of El Shaddai. You can reach them on Facebook at theassemblyofelshaddai.com.